What is up, everybody? You're very welcome along to this evening's Anfield agenda. Evening news agenda? I don't know. I don't even know if we have a name for this show yet. But look, it is the news show. Let's go with that one. How are we all? I hope we've all recovered from yesterday, because it was a weird one. It wasn't a vintage performance, but I fully agree with Jurgen Klopp. If we can celebrate getting to a Champions League semi-final, sure, we might as well throw our hat at it. So yeah, I hope you're all well. Lovely to see you guys in, as always. Just a heads up of what's happening tonight. It'll be just me for whatever amount of time this goes on for. Then I'll be over to Twitch at about 7:15. We'll be doing a watch along of West Ham's trip to Lyon in the Europa League semi-final or quarter-final second leg. How are we all? Scotty, Liverpool Reels, Mike, Killian, GFC, Stephen O'Connor, who else is in the chat? Billy, LT Gaming, Nabi, Mohammed, lovely to see you all in. Appreciate you being with us. Evening sports fans, love that from Killian. How are we, my man? Look, my friends, before we get stuck into it today, just a reminder, all the new shows this month are being brought to you with thanks to Surfshark. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to browse the internet entirely anonymously and unlock the world's largest Netflix libraries, including the USA and Japan, or in my case, Canadian DAZN. It also keeps you anonymous and secure from hackers, particularly if you're out and about on public Wi-Fi. Maybe you're in college or at a cafe, something like that. Surfshark will secure your data with industry-leading measures by using uncrackable encryption, the most secure VPN protocols. One subscription will run across all your devices. It's really easy to install. You can get yourselves 83% off and an additional 3 months free by clicking on the Anfield Agenda link in the description or using the code Anfield Agenda, all one word, at checkout. Right, how are we all? So loads I want to unpack actually from last night. So I watched Champions League tonight with Jake Humphries afterwards. I like to catch up on all the games that have gone on. I gotta say, I mean, look, I love a bit of shithousery, folks, but that Manchester City game last night was ridiculous. The lengths that Atletico Madrid went to. It's very rare, if ever, you will hear me defending Manchester City on this channel, but I have to say, I'm glad Manchester City went through that game last night. I have my own thoughts about how that club is run and financed, but I also have my thoughts about how I like the game of football to be portrayed across the world and played. And the irony of Atletico claiming that Manchester City were wasting time last night was ridiculous. You know, it wasn't lost on me, the irony of that a team that literally wasted time for most of the two legs, trying to just stifle Manchester City, had the cheek to say City were wasting time. Some of the antics from their players were ridiculous. The bust-ups, the melees, whatever you want to call them, absolutely disgusting. But there's one comment today that just sums it all up for me. Let me just grab my notes open here real quickly. So there's a comment today that came out of Marca. Now, look, we know that Marca and other publications are often a mouthpiece for Spanish clubs, but this one comment, I think, just sums it all up. So, in their player ratings, Marca stated, "The world needs a leader like Savic." No, we don't. We don't need anybody like that clown playing the way he was last night, like an animal on the pitch. It was disgusting. I'm glad City were able to stand up to it. I genuinely am. I'm glad that their players got through to the semis. Look, they have a few injury concerns ahead of our game against them at the weekend. It looks like De Bruyne and Walker have been ruled out of that one. But look, we all have our own take on these things. I don't ever want to see City doing well. But last night, I was on their side. I was on the side of football. And I'm glad to see that they stood up to that barrage of abuse and shithousery that was put at them, because that's not what football's about. Look, I'm all for hefty challenges. I'm all for letting people know you're there. I'm all for winding people up. But grabbing on hairs, it's just ridiculous. It was disgusting football. And I hope that UEFA grow a pair and do something about it, because those type of scenes can't happen again. We've had leaders like Savic, they're all on the no-fly list, said SA. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point. And look, that's just one thing that I pulled from that, from those player ratings and lists. There's plenty more that could confuse you. So yeah, it wasn't great. But from our side, so we know that we will be playing on the Wednesday in the semi-final now against Villarreal, first leg at Anfield. Wednesday the 27th, if my memory's correct. The Manchester City game against Real Madrid will be the Tuesday, the night before. So yeah, lots to unpack, lots to look ahead to, of course, with the FA Cup semi-final against City at the weekend. But how are we all feeling after last night? Are we relieved, happy, sad, frustrated? I think it was the right decision by Klopp, as I said yesterday, to rest the lads and try and keep them as fresh as he can. I know a lot of people are unhappy about the team selection by Klopp. Oh, excuse me, I need to sneeze. 1 sec. Excuse me, I didn't want to do that down the microphone. Yeah, I was fine with the team selection. And I don't care that it ended up 3-3. I don't care. We won 6-4. We're in the semi-final. That's all it's about. The history books won't care how we played. The history books will just show that we qualified. And that's all that matters. Lewis said, I'm in between. Glad he rested the boys. So glad Costas got man of the match. I thought Costas was brilliant yesterday. Very good performance from him. His delivery, 2 set-piece deliveries, or 2 assists, I should say. Absolutely on a sixpence. And yeah, I thought he played very well. Other than that, though, I don't think there's too many that really put themselves in Jurgen Klopp's thinking ahead of the game. Those who wouldn't have already been in his thinking. Look, last night I thought, again, was a good example of why James Milner is not getting much game time at the minute. I thought the game was just a bit too fast for him yesterday. But look, hey-ho. Again, as I said, don't really care. In the Champions League semi-final, I'm happy about it. Darwin Núñez is some player, said UFL game. He is. I think we had a good chat about this last night on the stream, and the consensus was definitely there's a player in there in Darwin Núñez. Needs to maybe stop going to ground as much or fill out a little bit, become a bit stronger, but there's a quality footballer in there, no doubt about it. AP said, does Liverpool's high line worry you? Not overly. Now, what did worry me against Manchester City at the Etihad was how often City were able to exploit our high line. And that, I suppose the thinking around that is that we need to close them down more from the front. So you probably heard me calling for Bobby Firmino to play against Manchester City. My reasoning behind it is because if you're playing somebody like City who has the capabilities with their centre-backs, with Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva, to pick out balls over the top and exploit our high line, if they don't get time to do it, it becomes far more difficult. So I think we definitely need to look at defending from the front more at Wembley on Saturday against Manchester City. But I think it's important as well last night to point out that any issues with our high line, didn't have Van Dijk there to marshal the troops last night. I also had Joe Gomez, who, if memory serves me correct, and I don't want to go too harsh on Joe, memory serves me correct, there was a couple of occasions that he was the deepest one of our defensive line. So yeah, to me, I won't overthink it. I don't think we should overthink it. These lads have caught teams offside more than anybody else. They are very good at exploiting the defensive line that we use, and more often than not we get it just about right. So look, we will get caught out from time to time, but Klopp plays a high risk, high reward brand of football, and I kind of like it. So yeah, I don't think there's any need to be overly dramatic about the high line. The high line allows us to do a lot of what we do as well, and also allows us to stifle opposition and, as I said, defend from the front. So look, I think if we didn't have VAR, I don't think we'd be playing the high line as much as we are. So I think the fact that VAR is there and that Klopp and the team know that if they think they get it right, if they move at the right time, they step up at the right time, more often than not we'll catch teams offside. I think Naby was the weak link last night. Yeah, I would agree, Killian. I'm a big fan of Naby Keita, as you know, but looking back at the game last night again, I certainly think that Naby didn't do himself any favours last night with maybe trying to push himself into the gaffer's thinking for the business end of the season. I've been somebody who, was calling for Naby maybe to start ahead of Hendo against City. Last night, though, I didn't see what I'd hoped to see from Naby Keita, so I kind of get where you're coming from on it. Any news about renewing our midfield or any new links with Origi? Origi will be gone to AC Milan. That will happen, Thomas. Best wishes to Divock, sincerely. Like, no snidey remarks or anything here. It's probably the best move for everybody concerned. He needs to play, deserves to play. AC Milan are a great club. I think it'll work out well for Divock. With regards to our midfield, nothing new for me that I've seen. There will always be the links to Tchouaméni, to maybe even Yuri Tielemans, to Jude Bellingham, and to Gavi, I think was the other link. But Look, I don't know what the situation is for the future of our midfield. I think, look, common sense would make you think that one of Naby and Ox would probably move on in the summer. Reading a piece on The Athletic today, actually, about Bobby Firmino's future. I think it was James Pearce that wrote it. James seems to think, and I kind of agree with him, to be fair, that most likely we will see Bobby Firmino's contract be allowed to run down and him leave when he's 32 years of age. There was another piece, another part in the piece that again kind of rang into what we've been talking about here on the channel, that the future will probably be Carvalho, maybe being trained up to play in that Bobby Firmino role. But you know what last night taught me again is that Bobby Firmino just plays that role better than anybody else we currently have at the club. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the right thing to do. I think Bobby probably has the least sell-on value of the forwards we have. And you know what? Part of me thinks that not only would I like to have another year of Bobby in the squad, but I also think it would be nice for Bobby to get to choose his next destination after Liverpool if he moves on. So yeah, I'm good about that. If Queeveen and Allison gets injured, would you start Karius or Adrian? Why are we talking about that, mate? The odds of that happening are very slim, so let's not stress about it. I'll tell you what, if Queeveen and Allison get injured, I'll play in the Champions League final in goal, and then we'll just win it. It'll be fine. I'll do a reverse Karius. I'll go and start knocking out Real Madrid centre-backs if they're in the final. PSV 1-0 up against Leicester. Thank you for the update in the chat. UFL game, the real bogger Mark. Thank you for the update on that one. Bobby staying will be great for Carvalho. I agree, Liz. I think it would be great for Fabio Carvalho to learn off Bobby Firmino for a year or so. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired today, by the way. I'm hoping I wake up as the streams go on, but yeah, I'm just a little bit tired today. I feel hungover, even though I haven't been drinking. What are your biggest worries about Villarreal? I suppose, firstly, the big concern for me would be that the second leg at the Madrigal, see, I've already started with the Madrigal. You're going to be sick of me saying the word Madrigal by the end of this Champions League run. The fact that second leg is away from home is probably my biggest concern. Look, we know what we're going to get against Villarreal. We know the way Unai Emery will set his team up. They will try and play counter-attacking football. They'll be very difficult to break down. And when I say try to play counter-attacking football, they do it very well with the pace, obviously, they have with Danjuma. We see with Chukwueze, who came on last night and scored the goal in the 88th minute that sent Bayern packing. And look, it won't. I don't think it's going to be particularly high scoring two legs against Villarreal, but I do think it will be a war of attrition, and I'm not expecting it to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. But I think also, if we're being really honest, and if other people are being really honest about it, we should be looking. We should be looking to get through that. We will be going into it as favourites. It's just up to us to impose our will, I suppose, or trying and impose our will on Villarreal. But look, I'll certainly be approaching this game respectfully, because you don't get through Champions League semi-final without being good at what you do. Apparently Elon Musk is buying Twitter. Yes, I see he offered something like $54 a share, something like that, which is I think a 50% premium for the shares, which values, was it 41 billion, something like that. To buy Twitter. I don't care whether Elon Musk buys Twitter or not, to be honest with you. I still won't be going near the platform. Saying Madrigal or Giuseppe Meazza. I mean, I'm happy to say either or, mate. Two great stadium names. Stonage is in the chat. How are we? Chilling in Hampshire, watching Lord Newlawn. Boom. We love it, Chris. Hope you're enjoying the start of your few days away. Paddy sent me a message earlier on. He was just in the airport in Liverpool on his way home. So we'll have Mr. Murphy back from tomorrow. I'll be excited to hear from him, how he got on over the game. Right, I have a few little bits and pieces in my notes that I just want to go through actually really quickly. So there's some concern about Diogo Jota, because Klopp said that he pulled up a little bit after the game, but it's believed that Diogo will be available for the semi-final against Manchester City on Saturday. Again, there's an article actually, who put this out, from The Athletic via HITC Sport, that said Liverpool beat Spurs to the signing of Luis Diaz because of realistic bonuses. Just to read something here, it says Liverpool battled with Spurs in January over the signing of then Porto forward Luis Diaz. The Colombian had an instant impact at Anfield, seamlessly slotting into Jurgen Klopp's side, with Liverpool stepping up their approach. However, HITC reports via The Athletic that Porto accepted Liverpool's proposal over Tottenham due to more realistic add-on clauses in the deal. The bonuses are claimed to include appearances and trophy wins, with Diaz already having lifted the Carabao Cup with the Reds. So, yeah, look, no surprises there. But we got our man. And we got our man, and he's doing bits, and I'm delighted for having him at the club. I mean, has anybody else... Like, we knew we were getting a good player. I was a bit slower to this than everybody else, in fairness, but I have to say, much like Diogo Jota, when he signed, I have been really impressed with quite how quickly this gentleman has settled into the Liverpool team and the Liverpool way. I want to just touch on what Mick Wall has put into the chat there for a second. Yeah, so there was a gentleman, I believe 61 years of age perhaps, who took ill 20 minutes before the game against Benfica last night at Anfield. He was in the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand. Unfortunately, despite the best attempts of all the medical staff involved, that gentleman passed away. So I just want to echo what Mick has said there. May that gentleman rest in peace. Of course, all of our love and best wishes to his family at this really difficult moment. Yeah, very sad news indeed. And thank you for bringing it up, Mick. Yeah, look, I don't really have anything else to say other than it's just tragic, genuinely tragic that a football fan goes to a game and doesn't return for any reason. It doesn't really matter the reason, but yeah, may he rest in peace. Where was I with gone before that? Diaz, yeah, so back to Diaz for a second. Has anybody else been surprised how quickly he settled in? Like, we know our scouts are excellent at getting the type of footballer that would suit our system and finding those type of players, but Luis Diaz looks like he's always been a Liverpool player. It's remarkable. It really, really is remarkable to see how quickly he's slotted in. And if you even add into that the language barrier, you know, because Klopp doesn't speak Spanish, Pep does speak Spanish, Pep Linders, but, you know, Klopp's barely been able to even speak. But it's been brilliant. It's been really, really good to see how quickly he's settled in to the Liverpool squad. Luis Diaz played amazing last night at Anthony. RSH said everyone has been surprised. Nobody would have predicted it. Most seamless transition ever, said Liz Golden. Jota is out, said TK. Not what Klopp said, mate. Hang on, I'm just looking to see spamming here. Or is that somebody else? No, that's somebody else. I'll bring you up actually what Klopp had to say about Jota. Where is it? No, that was about that one. Not that one. That one. Klopp was speaking about Jota and he said that he pulled up after training, but he should be okay. That's what, you know, that's all I have on it. There is something though, and look, you'll see this all the time when we play Spanish teams. I've said it to you before. Of course, now that we're playing Villarreal, a lot of the articles being written are about Liverpool's proposed interest or reported interest in Danjuma, who you guys probably remember did play for Bournemouth before he moved to Villarreal. He's had a tremendous impact at the Madrigal and looks like a real talent, but again, I would take it with a massive pinch of salt ahead of the game. You're probably going to see more stories linking Liverpool to Danjuma. There's no denying the lad's a talented footballer, but, you know, I'd take it with a pinch of salt. So the Express reported via Gold, Arnaud Danjuma is attracting interest from Liverpool due to Sadio Mane's contract currently scheduled to expire in 2023. Though a move is deemed unlikely this summer, then what's the point of it? Because we're going to have to replace Mane if he moves this summer. So I would just say that that's just an article for the sake of writing an article. And then one more bit of news. Our friends at LFC Transfer Room have reported that Kevin De Bruyne and Kyle Walker are out of the FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool. I think the source of that was RMC Sport in France. So yeah, that's kind of where we are at the moment. I think that, yeah, that's about where I am with regards to news updates anyway. Ben said that awkward moment when Liverpool win the quad. Not awkward for me, Ben. Happy tickety-boo for me, buddy. There is no definite that De Bruyne is out for the FA Cup semi-final, is there? As I said, mate, all I've done is read to you a post from LFC Transfer Room via RMC Sport. I'm not the one telling you they're out. I'm sharing reports that they're out. I have no idea. I suppose we will find out from Pep Guardiola soon enough if they are out or not out. If they are out, you've got to say you never wish injury on a player, but that would be a big boost to us ahead of the semi-final. Is Diaz still out? No, Diaz is back. I know he travelled with the City squad, I think, for the game in Madrid. I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back for the final. Or semi-final, excuse me. Adeyemi news is breaking that we're in talks. I don't believe it. And let me tell you why. Again, this screams to me of Adeyemi's move to Dortmund not having happened as quickly as one side would want. And I see this as well, if we don't get it sorted out soon, we might have to look at Liverpool stuff. That's what I see it as at the minute. Now, if it's true when it happens, we'll discuss it and we'll be happy with it, I'm sure. But from what I believe, and I said to you guys, if you go right back many moons ago, I always said to you I believe that he will end up in Germany. Adeyemi. I've been very consistent about that, to be honest. Who do you think gets top four? Love the show, mate. Thank you, Anthony Packer. I think Paddy nailed it, to be honest, Anthony. I thought Arsenal were going to get over the line, but they've done their best to shit the bed. It looks like Spurs. And you'd have to say, with the momentum that Spurs attack have, and Kulusevski looks like a wonderful addition. With the trio of himself, Kane and Son, look top-notch, to be honest. So I would say that it looks like it's going to be Spurs to take that fourth spot. And I'm all right. As long as it isn't United, I'm good. Whether it's either of the North London clubs, I don't mind, to be honest with you. But United ain't going to be getting it. So roll on Thursday nights. Do we have any injury problems? The only slight concern is around Diogo. But, Klopp said that he thinks he'll be okay. I don't think Diogo starts, by the way, against Manchester City at the weekend. I think Klopp will go for Diaz, Mane, Salah. I expect that to be the three up front. We should definitely sign the Uruguayan striker that plays for Benfica. Just a mere £113 million though, Shane. Unfortunately, that's the rumoured amount that it will take to get him from Benfica, according to a couple of articles that I've read. So, he's a good player, definitely. But I think if that's the amount, I think we can all say that Liverpool ain't ponying up £113 million for the man. But look, I do understand what you're saying. He looked quality. Someone said to me in the chat last night, kind of shades of Fernando Torres from him, and I kind of get where they're coming from. Craig, he won't go that much. Oh look, I'll be amazed if they got that much from him. Look, they can ask whatever the hell they want for their player, of course they can. But I agree with you. I don't think anybody at this moment in time, in a world where you can get Mbappe on a free potentially, well look, it's not a free, but you know what I mean, no transfer fee, just agents fees and signing on fees, in a world where we know that 70 million plus a load of wages will get you Haaland, I don't see where the value is there at 113 million. So yeah, I think what you're saying is probably right. 60, 70 million, probably a more realistic number. DJ said, Tchouaméni, Adeyemi and Carvalho, the summer, that'll be insane. I mean, I wouldn't say no. My man, I wouldn't say no. But of those three, the only one I have any absolute certainty on is Carvalho, because that's done. Who's my favourite player? Si, senor. Bobby. I mean, let's be honest, isn't Bobby everybody's favourite player deep down? We all have little fleeting moments where we love Salah, we love Van Dijk, but deep down, deep down, we all want a Bobby smile. We all love that karate kicking, no looking lunatic. Yeah, he's my favourite player. Looking handsome today. Oh man, I feel like shit today. I feel like I've got a hangover, as I was saying to you, and I just haven't been sleeping. I think I've had about 4 hours sleep in the last 3 nights. I'm absolutely shattered. But today's the last watch along till Saturday, so should be alright. I will be over on Twitch at about 7:20 tonight for the West Ham Lyon game, so I hope you can join me for that one. I mean, you guys have been unbelievable coming across and showing support on Twitch. We're already up to 9,200 Twitch followers, and thank you. Amazing. Looking $1 million. I'd rather look like shit and have $1 million, mate. I'd absolutely much rather that one. Who do you reckon will be the West Ham Leon game? I think it's a 50-50 tie. I thought West Ham did extremely well in the first leg to go down to 10 men, and I don't think Cresswell should have been sent off, but I thought they played extremely well. And I'm genuine. I want them, I want them to go through. Obviously, I absolutely disgusted at what the cat kicker did, but I do want them to go through. I'd like West Ham to have that moment. I would. As if nothing else for Mikel Antonio, because if you ever listen to a Mikel Antonio interview or just watch the man speaking, he's so likeable. He is so likeable, and he's done it the hard way. He's played in every position on the pitch, and I'd love to see his journey continue. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing West Ham go through just for Mikel Antonio, because I like him. Sell Nat Phillips and Nico, get 30 million, sell Ox so we can have decent money incoming. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I mean, we often speak, DJ, about the players that we might bring in the summer. But I'm intrigued to see who we sell as well. Because as you've said, it looks like Nico will move on. Oh, just a bit of an update, by the way, for people who may not be aware. So, obviously, Ukraine's playoff against Scotland had to be postponed for obvious reasons. That date has now been confirmed that they will play Scotland in the playoff on June the 1st, and the winner will then play Wales, of course, on June the 5th. So just confirmation of that one. Ukraine against Scotland, June the 1st, and then the winner will play Wales on June the 5th for a place at the World Cup. Shane says, yeah, I agree. Porto looking for big money for Luis Diaz, and we got him on a knockdown price. Same with the Benfica striker, hopefully. Again, I want to just go back, by the way, to everybody out there that's trying to belittle our Champions League run. Let's just look at the group we had. Champions of Spain, AC Milan, who are past European Cup winners, and currently, I think, top or second in Serie A. I know it's getting close there at the top. And we had Porto, who were the champions of Portugal. And we won every game home and away. I don't understand how this is an easy group. Again, in the knockout stages, not really our fault. The Villarreal were too good for Bayern Munich, because if we were playing Bayern Munich in this semi-final, there wouldn't be anybody saying it was an easy run. So, yeah, I just think it's a bit of unfair saltiness towards us, and I'm fed up to the back teeth of any bit of success that we have, people trying to undermine it. People try and undermine our league title by saying that it was, the league should have been null and voided. People tried to underplay the influence of having no centre-backs last year and said it was the worst title defence ever, but yet we still finished up third place. And the saltiness is just too much. It's too much for me. I don't get it. Is Origi staying? No. Like, does anybody genuinely believe Origi should stay? Because, I have to say I don't. I don't think Origi should stay. I think it's the right move for everybody concerned. Miroslav said, hi Craig, I'm going to the game, so happy. As you should be, Miroslav. Enjoy it. Have a great time. I would love Darwin Núñez. What else we got there? I'm not sleeping on Villarreal, said Inema de Loop. Look, watch the videos in the build-up of the week. Myself and Paddy, we were saying that, don't write at Villarreal off against Bayern Munich. I certainly won't be taking them for granted or taking the win for granted. Do I think Spurs are getting top four? Yes. They certainly have the momentum with them right now, Spurs. Antonio Conte is... Look, you got to give the man credit. Real credit. So, yeah, I think they will take the fourth spot. I can see Penos at the weekend, said Jake O'Rourke. It's going to be another bum twitchy, nerve-wracking game on Saturday. And like you said, Jake, I wouldn't be surprised if it went all the way either. But, somebody has to win this one. The league games ended in a draw, but somebody has to go through to the final to take on either Palace or Chelsea. So, let's hope it's us. I reckon we're getting Bellingham in the summer. Look, I've had the same line to answer that question since God knows when. I absolutely, truly believe that when Jude Bellingham leaves Borussia Dortmund, he ends up at Liverpool. But I've always said I don't know when that is. But I'm convinced he'll end up at Liverpool. Puskas is the god. Said everybody complaining about Benfica and Villarreal are everyone would be happy. Ajax and Munich. End of the day, it's not our fault. Bayern and Ajax weren't good enough. Absolutely, absolutely, mate. Couldn't agree anymore. Our midfield is a problem. We can't control games after Genie left. It depends. So I don't think there's a yes or no answer to that about whether our midfield is a problem or not, because it depends how teams come to play against us and how we set up. So we don't always play through midfield. You know, a lot of the time our midfielders are there to break up play, and then we spray balls into the channels diagonally for our fullbacks to attack. And also when we play against teams, often a lot of them try to bypass midfield. So I don't know how important. I think we need legs in midfield. So if there's one thing we've always known about Jurgen Klopp midfield teams is that we have players that do a lot of running, cover a lot of ground and work really hard. And I wonder maybe if you know, the legs of Hendo and the legs of Milner are, you know, just maybe getting to that. Well, Milner certainly is, but maybe Hendo just getting to that point where we'll have to manage him more and have to manage his games more. I'd love Renato Sanchez. I think he's a perfect Genie replacement. If I could pick any Genie replacement right now, I like Yves Bissouma. You know, I know he had his issues and I don't know if they've been resolved or not, but I've always thought Bissouma is a very, very good replacement for Genie, as would Tchouaméni be, of course, as well. Now, I haven't seen anywhere near as much of Tchouaméni playing football as I have Bissouma, but I just wonder if Klopp thinks we need to bring in midfielders, because if we listed off our midfielders right now, God, I'd say we've what, 6, 7, 8 midfielders. Let's have a bash at it now. So Fabinho, Morton, Curtis Jones, Henderson, Milner, not Genie. I was going to say Genie, Keita. Who else we got? Elliot, Chamberlain. That's 8. Thiago, 9. Am I missing anybody from that? 9? That's 9 off the top of my head. For probably 2 positions realistically, because Fabinho's the starting 6, and if Fabinho isn't there, Thiago can do a job in the 6. So yeah, I think we need to move bodies on in midfield before we look to bring in another one. But I do agree, we need to freshen it up. I would agree. I said Tyler Morton at the start, mate, when I was listing the midfielders there. I also said Oxlade-Chamberlain and Curtis Jones. Gavi to Liverpool gathering pace. So Oliver, I reached out recently to a friend of mine, very well connected in Spanish football, and he said to me at the time, there is an option, a possibility that Gavi could move on from Barcelona, but that possibility will only happen if Barcelona can't fund all the moves and transfer extensions they want to. So, as an example, the real worry in Barcelona was around Gavi and around that gentleman plays centre-back for them, the Uruguayan. I can never remember his name, even though I have him on my FIFA team. Anyway, both of those 2 guys were the ones they're worried about. The centre-back looks like they have sorted that one. That deal will be in place. The Gavi one was interesting because he does have a 42 million... Ronald Araujo, yes, thank you. He does have a 42 million quid option, I think. I think that gets higher in June. I could be wrong on that one. But the way I was told it was that Barcelona have drawn a line in the sand and they have said this is what we can afford to pay at this moment in time. And that's all we have money-wise, so that's all I know. Would I take Gavi? Yes, but I also, if I'm being really, really honest, I think as a 17-year-old, he should stay at Barcelona. He should stay where he's comfortable for a few more years. I think we rush players too much, I think, genuinely. If you look back, I was speaking about Haaland as well last summer. I said the same thing. I think he's in the right place. And I also think Bellingham's in the right place, maybe for another year as well to develop. I don't think we should be looking to rush these youngsters through their careers too quickly. You know, 70 years of age, Gavi. Plenty of time. I would expect him to stay at Barca, in all honesty. Would I take Ronaldo for free at Liverpool? No. I wouldn't want that petulant, arrogant arsehole anywhere near our football club, thanks. Phones are expensive these days, don't you know? Let's say we somehow pulled off Adeyemi, said DJ. He would be a perfect Salah backup. He can play right wing and striker. Look, I'd have no issues if Liverpool looked at Karim Adeyemi. None. You know, we spoke about this last summer. Or excuse me, earlier in the season. But everything that I've read about Adeyemi is always kind of leaned towards him wanting to go back to Germany. So again, if I'm working off memory here, but I think he started his career at underage level at Bayern Munich. And I think Germany is where he'll feel comfortable for the time being. But interestingly, you know, I suppose there has to be spaces because Dortmund, would they move on Julian Brandt? They're going to lose, obviously, Haaland this summer. Bayern Munich look like they want to extend Lewandowski, who has a year left, I think, on his contract after this season. There's been loads of chatter about him going to Barcelona, but Bayern Munich, I think Oliver Kahn came out yesterday and said that there's no way Lewandowski's going anywhere. So, you know, I don't know where the space would be because they've got Daniel Malen at Dortmund as well. So, yeah, I don't know. But he does scream to me like someone that wants to be in Germany. Wait, for real, right now, De Bruyne out as well as Kyle Walker. As has been reported by RMC Sport, mate, yes. I'm just working off reports, but yeah, I don't have any inside info in the City camp for you. We should get Lewandowski for 2 years. Did you miss the part where I just said, mate, that Dortmund or Bayern Munich weren't letting Lewandowski go? Because he's still contracted to them, so I don't think he goes anywhere. I think he stays at Bayern Munich. Hope you and the family are well. Yeah, really good, thank you. All good. Kids on their Easter holidays at the minute, so house is nice and chill. Everybody's sleeping patterns are all... Is anybody else with sleeping patterns all over the place at the minute? Is Foden injured? I don't believe so. I know he looked full Terry Butcher last night with the head bandage on, but, you know, he finished the game. Or at least finished the game on his feet, I should say. Craig, it's not unfair that Ronaldo gets accused of rape. He was found not guilty. I have my opinion on that, mate. I don't want to give it publicly because I don't want to get myself in trouble. But all I would say is have a look at their Spiegel. Google what they uncovered around the legal briefings around the case. And make your own mind up. You know, I just don't like Ronaldo, to be honest with you, on top of that. But look into it for yourself, mate. I have to be very careful about what I say, obviously. And I don't believe he was found not guilty, by the way. I just don't believe there was no court case I'm aware of. I just believe that they decided not to pursue a case for varying reasons. But I definitely don't remember hearing the phrase not guilty, to my recollection. GSC 9671 said, I work shifts. Mine is broken. Oh man, I'm like you. I keep mad hours anyway. Am I doing a watch along tonight? Yes, I absolutely am. About 7:20. Going to do a watch along of the Lyon West Ham game. Did De Bruyne come off injured yesterday? He came off yesterday. I don't believe there was a Manchester City fan that was in our chat last night and said to us he came off but he didn't come off injured, but then reports today suggest himself and Walker are injured, so I honestly don't know what to believe. Jurgen Quad, that's the super chat, said Big Six fans. Love that, mate. Belter of a super chat, to the point. We love it, thank you. We need to start Keita. Why is no one talking about this? Because he was shit yesterday, I would imagine. And look, this is from somebody who has been banging on about Naby Keita starting for ages. But he had his chance last night, and I don't think he put in a particularly good shift, to be fair. Yeah, that's my take on it. You know, I'd actually probably rather us go something like Alisson, Trent. I'd say we'll see Canade playing, because I can't, like Steve said last night, I can't see Matthew playing 3 games in a week. So I think we'll go Alisson, Trent, Canade, Van Dijk, Robbo, although Costa's probably gave the manager something to think about. Fabinho, Thiago. I'd like to see us go Bobby in an attacking midfield role. Diaz on the left, Mane to the centre, Salah on the right. That's what I'd do. Have I heard the new KLOPP song? The Beatles one, Scotty. If it's the Beatles one, yes, I have. Score against United. Are we looking for the old score, which was 5-0, or the score on Tuesday, which will be 4-0? Sorry to disappoint everybody, but I've decided we'll beat United 4-0 on Tuesday. Do I think Gary Neville could be the next UK Prime Minister? Have you people not suffered enough over there with Prime Ministers lately? So, you know, each to their own. I don't give a shite who's UK Prime Minister, to be fair. It's got a whole lot of nothing to do with me, but I doubt it. I doubt Gary Neville will. I think there was the talk of him maybe running for a mayoral race or something like that. Good football pundit, great football pundit, Gary Neville. Knows the sport inside out, but yeah, I don't care, to be honest. I just don't care. I'm not very politically minded, so even though I do want to run for office in Ireland, I'm not even joking, by the way. People laugh at me when I say this. I'm deadly serious. I'd love to run for Dáil Éireann. I just think I'm too young now. Genuinely, I think I will. I'm thinking maybe Craig, 46, 47. You know, now hear me out. You're not going to laugh at me here, but hear me out. So, I think I'm an intelligent person. I think I'm ballsy enough to say what I feel, and I'm ballsy enough to stand up for what I believe in. I think my public profile will be raised enough over the next few years that I think the younger, newer generation will certainly recognise me more than and relate to me more than a lot of these current politicians. And let's be honest about it, it's a damn good pension. So yeah, maybe Craig will run as an independent and get himself a little seat and still do this. You know what I mean? Still do this. I could be the new generation of TD. The say what the fuck I want party. The tell it like it is. Imagine, look, just picture this, right? Honestly, just picture this. Me on a stage debating Micheál Martin, Leo Varadkar, that clown from the Greens. I mean, I think I'd have fun. I think I'd be quite good at that. Craig showing up in a hoodie. See what I mean? Knowing what's what. Lads there in their suit and ties, Craig showing up in a hoodie. Deal with it, motherfuckers. See what I mean? Deal with it. Who are we playing in the semis? Villarreal, mate. Villarreal. Second leg will be at the Madrigal. See, that's about 4 times now I've managed to squeeze it in. First leg at Anfield on... I had the fixture list earlier on. I think... what day is today? So 12th, 19th, 27th is the first leg. So Manchester City play Real Madrid on the Tuesday, the 26th. Then we play... Eamon Ryan was the person I was trying to think of. Sorry, from the Greens. Craig, has Paddy done a video of his attendance at the game? I think he's done some TikToks and stuff, Jen. You know, what people always say to me when the lads are at games, why don't you get them to do vlogs and stuff? I want them to just go and enjoy themselves when they're at the games. I don't want them to be doing any work stuff. You know, the lads work hard enough and it's difficult enough to get to Liverpool games that when they're over there, I want them to just have fun and enjoy their day. Who's your least favourite Liverpool player? Ooh, you're putting me on the spot. Adrian. Actually, it was easier than I thought. Adrian. People think I'm joking, by the way, about running for political office. I'm not joking. It's always been something I've had in my mind for the last 2 years. Been really enjoying the streams and content lately, said BA. Keep up the good work. Let's get that win tomorrow. Thank you so much, man. That's an £18 super chat. You're extremely generous, dude. Thank you so much. I tell you what, I feel like I don't know what's happened in the last few months, but I feel like I've just felt more comfortable in my own skin lately, as fat as that skin is, and I need to address that. But I'm really enjoying life. I'm really enjoying these streams, and I'm really enjoying interacting with everybody, and I'm extremely grateful for the confidence that you guys are giving me to be myself. So yeah, thank you again for everybody for your amazing support. You know, we might not be the biggest community, the biggest channel on YouTube or Twitch, but I would say you'd be hard pressed to find a tighter group of people. I love the community we have. Very grateful for every single day. I say to my missus, I still can't believe this is my life. I can't believe I get to wake up and talk about football. I can't believe I get to come on and interact with people from around the world. And look, I can't believe I get to be me, because I didn't know who me was for a very long time. I knew how I thought I was supposed to be, but I didn't know who I was. It's only been in the last couple of years that I get to really explore who I am. And I found out, you know, breaking news, I'm a big fucking softie. That's what I found out. I come from a family of very tough, strong men and women, very strong-minded women in our family. And I'm a big fucking softie. And you know what? It took me a long time to understand that I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. I'll move from Chicago to vote for you. I feel like Irish people. There you go. I mean, that'll do. We're adding up the votes here already. Craig for president. No, not president. No, I don't want to be president. No, we've got a fine president in this country. I couldn't improve on anything that our current president is doing. He's a fine Irish man, our president. Nothing but respect for him. A Taoiseach in the long term. Craig, Minister for Sport. So I don't think that's asking too much. Put me in as Minister for Sport. Elect me to Dáil Éireann, Minister for Sport, and I'll sort out the FAI. And everything will be tickety-boo. Right, what have we got? I'd move from Glasgow to Ireland, said Scotty. Love it. Did I hear Marcus leaving the United Stand? He's not leaving the United Stand that I'm aware of. Now, look, I know Mark put out a tweet, and look, I actually don't know what Mark's plans are. Let me put that out there. He's playing his cards close to his chest. I did see the tweet that he put out that he said something about 6 weeks, everything comes to an end. And then I think Drawdy quote tweeted it. We had a good run, something like that. So look, as you would imagine, I've been messaging back and forth. I'm recording with Mark on Sunday, a preview ahead of the United game. And this is my take on it. I don't care what Mark does, because as his friend, I only care that he's happy, that his family are safe and content. And if Mark decides to walk away from the content world, which I don't believe he is, I believe he's going to stay involved in it. I don't know what his future is, but he's my friend. And I only want the best for my friends. So whatever Mr. Goldbridge does, he'll always have my admiration, my respect. And I'm sure he'll make the right decision for him and his family. Other than that, as long as he's happy, I don't mind. He's my mate. I want him to be well. What else we got? Who's your favourite Liverpool player of all time? Robbie Fowler. BA said, sorry I'm late. What's happening with Bruyne? No problem, buddy. And thank you for the super chat. Let me grab it up for you. So, a friend at LFC Transfer Room put out a tweet that said Kevin De Bruyne and Kyle Walker are out of the FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool on Saturday, and the source that they gave was RMC Sport in France. Chicken Boy said, Craig, I've got a signed Fowler shirt. Oh, so do I. And a signed Fowler photo. Shane said I'd move from Kerry to Wexford to be in your constituency. Oh, by the way, that's another thing that kind of made me look at it. I've looked at who was being elected in Wexford, and I thought to myself, I'd love to debate those people. I'd love to debate the people who are elected in Wexford, because, yeah, let's just say, I think I could have fun. Will Klopp bring Darwin Núñez to Liverpool? You know, I don't know. I've kind of been teasing myself with that one a little bit. So we know that Klopp has spoken about what a good-looking boy he is and what a good footballer he is. I don't know. Look, you could understand why if he did want to. There's a lot to admire about Darwin Núñez, and I'm very late to the party of, again, understanding how good of a footballer he is. But he looks the part. What's his price tag? All I can say is what I've seen reported, K-Dot. And like other people in the chat, I do believe that the price tag, if he does get sold, will be lower. But 113 million is the price tag that I've seen put around. Tielemans isn't the right fit for us. I think so as well. Our up clan, and I went back and forward on Yuri Tielemans for a long time about whether he's good enough, whether he isn't good enough. Ultimately, I think he ends up probably at Real Madrid or Manchester United, if I was to guess. 25 million is the amount that apparently Leicester would be willing to accept for Tielemans. He's got 1 year left after this season. Have you seen the Red Devils United channel? I haven't, Ronan, no. As I'm sure you can imagine, buddy, my viewing of Manchester United channels is very, 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 very minimal. I don't even watch much of Mark's stuff, to be fair. I just see some clips every now and again. If I have any spare time and I'm watching YouTube content, I'm usually watching IFL TV for some boxing news. I watch the happy hour clips maybe because, you know, that's the podcast I've always dreamt about going on to. So Jack, if you're watching, you know, Jack May, hurry the fuck up. Man's here waiting. I think I'm the only football content creator that you haven't brought on yet, buddy. So yeah. Is there anything else I watch? Not really, actually. That's maybe some Joe Rogan clips, but that's about it for me on YouTube. If Kyle Walker is fit for Saturday, the medical staff, the other miracle workers. Oh, Crosby's just sending me across news, I think, team news for the game. I was wondering why Connor was sending me WhatsApp messages. It is just the lineups, is it? Yeah, I have the lineups here, by the way, for the Lyon game against West Ham, which is a game I'll be going over to Twitch to do shortly. So team news is in. Here's the starting 11s. For West Ham, Areola in goal, then Koufal, Dalton, Diop and Ben Johnson at left back with Souček and Rice in midfield. Then it's Jared Bowen, Pablo Fornals, Manuel Lanzini and Mikel Antonio. Pollersbeck, excuse me, for Lyon. Then Gusto, Denayer, Lukeba, Emerson, Ndombele, Mendes, Favre, Ouar, Elikambi and Dembele. Did Lopez pick up an injury or something in the first leg, or did he get suspended? The Lyon keeper. But anyway, that's the 11s. Thank you, Connor, for sending those across. Craig, who do you think will become the manager for Liverpool after Klopp? I don't know, Joel. I don't know, mate. I don't want to sit on the fence, so I'll give you an answer. If I had to pick right now, most likely I would say Pep Linders, because I don't think Stevie G's ready. I don't want anybody to be the next Liverpool manager because I want Klopp to sign an extension. But right now, if I had to put my cards on the table, I'd like Pep Linders. Who do you think will win the Palace-Chelsea game? Chelsea. That's it for them this season. That's the only silverware chance they have left. And I think that Thomas Tuchel has done a good job trying to galvanise that squad after everything that's gone on at Chelsea this season. So I think they'll win that semi-final, but I don't think it'll be easy. I think Palace will make a good fist, but I've been very impressed with Crystal Palace this season under Patrick Vieira. The more time goes on, the more I want Pep, said Chicken Boy. RSH also said Pep Linders. Alex wants Unai Emery. It's weird, man. I have a lot of admiration for Unai Emery, but I wouldn't like his brand of football at Liverpool. Yeah. UFL game. Let me just say once again, I don't care what Fabrizio Romano has to say about Liverpool. Respect the man as a journalist and all that, but it doesn't take Fabrizio Romano to tell me that we're not going to spend 150 million quid on Declan Rice, pal. I could have told you that without you having to read his Twitter feed. Any of us in the chat could have told you that. Nor do we need him. We've got Fabinho. Nagelsmann or Pep Linders? I don't think Nagelsmann's the finished article yet either. I mean, he's just bombed out of the Champions League. at home against Villarreal with another shambolic defensive performance, and I don't think Julian Nagelsmann's ready yet either. We need a good backup for Fabinho this summer. We have one. His name's Tyler Morton, and he's still progressing through. Right, look, I am going to leave it there and get set up for the Twitch stream. I hope to see you guys over there. There is a link to our Twitch channel at the top of the live chat now. I will be on there from about 20 past 7 or so. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys tuning in as always. It's been a nice chilled hour or so. Do hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so before you head off. We're closing in. I think we're about 80 away from 136,000 subscribers. And again, please do drop a like on the video. Appreciate your time as always, my friends. And if I don't see you over on Twitch, then I'll see you tomorrow at 5:45 on here, where I'll be doing a live preview ahead of the semi-final against Manchester City. So I'll talk to you then. Take care. Shout out to our sponsor, Surfshark, as well. Don't forget, link in the description, 83% off and 3 months additional free using our link or the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. Thank you guys. Talk to you.